One thing that often helps in a negotiation is to let the facts do the heavy lifting for you. We talked about a concept called objective criteria, which is the use of external standards or fair standards that are factual and objective in the sense that they don't come from either party in the negotiation. And if we get in a negotiation, we start debating, we can debate our subjective views all day long, and we may never convince the other side. But what may move them and help protect you as well at the same time is to search for these objective criteria that apply to the situation. For example, one of the disputes that I mediated involved a dispute between a national sports federation and a number of athletes. And the essence of the dispute was about the wording of various policies and procedures. And they could have debated all day long the wording of the existing policies as to whether that was appropriate, inappropriate, whether it was the best way to go or not. Instead, I asked them to look for and bring to the table external measures of what those policies and procedures should look like. And each side went out and found from other federations, other athlete organizations, other resources on the web, both here in the country and externally, samples and precedents for those kinds. Some of them were actually in use. Some of them had been suggested by various organizations that were respected as model policies and procedures, but it gave them both a starting point for their discussions as a baseline, and it allowed them to start to see what are the parameters in terms of what is an appropriate range for wording these kinds of policies, for dealing with marketing, for example, with disciplinary procedures. And it kept them from getting upset with one another and ending up in this aggressive debate mode. Instead, they were talking about, here are the facts that apply, and these tell us what an appropriate answer should be. And it was a rational, appropriate, productive discussion that ensued. And in any negotiation, when you find yourself getting into a debate, always ask yourself, do we have to debate, or is there an answer that we can find from an external objective source that may help us resolve the dispute, or at least minimize the range of the dispute so we don't end up in a fight?